Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from chasingstrength.com. And today we are back discussing our 5 levels of kettlebell training. And in this particular video, we are going to discuss surfing the 5-level pyramid and get into some Incognito level 5 programs. Okay, so here we go. This level 5 programming pyramid is pretty cut and dry. Well, until it isn't. The navigation aspect is the key to understanding the progression. And admittedly, that can be pretty tricky. So let me pull up the old 5-level pyramid here. Here we got this red arrow coming up the side, and we're surfing up. And, technically we could surf back down too. I just put the arrow up one side because, I'm just a one-sided arrow kind of guy, I guess. So regardless, surfing this pyramid, it can be pretty tricky. So here's an example. I got an email from one of my good customers, Isaac, the other day. And he had the following comment and some great questions. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. It's on the screen here. I think I'll probably put it up somewhere, but I'm going to read it. So he said, Jeff, you're on the money, RE the Giant, which is a program. I'm a BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. For those of you who don't know what BJJ is, a BJJ practitioner, and have been on the protocol for a month, and the gains have been obvious, not just to me, but my gym mates. I also recently got KSK. KSK is the King Size Killer, and that's a snatch program. Do you have any recommendations as how I should cycle between the two protocols? Also wondering why these two programs are level 3 programs instead of level 4 programs based on the chart you shared. All right, so some great questions here. Before I answer his questions directly, I want to break this down so you can easily surf this pyramid, understanding what exercises and programs will work the best for you based on your current situation. All right. So here are the principles that you need to use for the safest, most effective. All right. Think about when I say safest, most effective, I mean, obviously fastest results, right? The safest, most effective way to get your fastest results and to learn or build out our training or our workouts. All right. Hopefully that made sense. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to train our technique and or our skill. All right. So you call that kind of one. All right. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to train for strength. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to train for power. The fourth thing we're going to do is we're going to train for strength endurance. And the fifth thing we're going to do is we're going to train for power endurance. All right. So that's the progression we're going to use when we're training. Those are called biomotor abilities, by the way. So strength, endurance, biomotor abilities. So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to train from simple to complex. And I think I'm probably going to put these up here on the screen. So if you look around, you'll probably see them here on the screen. We're going to start with lower reps, and we're going to go to medium reps, and then we're going to go to high reps. Right. And this is totally different from what we learned in bodybuilding 101, which was you start with the high reps, right? And then you move to the low reps. We don't want to do that because it's hard to learn a skill when you're doing high reps. Okay. High rep bicep curls, totally different than high rep snatches. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, we're going to do low volume of work. So it's volume. Volume is the weight multiplied by the sets multiplied by the reps. So we're going to start low with a low volume, and then we're going to work to medium volume, and then we're going to move to larger volumes of work. All right, so low, medium, you can think moderate, and then large. Okay. So finally, we are going to use a low effort or intensity. Some people call it intensity. So we're going to use a low effort or intensity, and that's effort relative to your max, right? Your maximums. We're going to then move to medium effort. Okay, so we got low effort, medium effort, and then we're going to move to high effort. Okay, so that's what this pyramid represents, and that's what this arrow represents. Okay, so we move from low to moderate to hard and heavy. Okay, low to moderate to high on this arrow. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you can see that. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. Level 5 being the pinnacle of kettlebell training. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, with regards to the Giant, there are some workout programs, like Isaac was asking about, with regards to the Giant, which confuse some people as to where it lays or lies, whatever the correct term is. One of you English majors or English teachers can correct me on my grammar there. Okay, hence Isaac's question, which was also wondering why these two, the programs, KSK and the Giant, are level 3 programs instead of level 4 programs based on the chart or this pyramid that I shared. Okay, now here's why. So the Giant is both a single kettlebell and a double kettlebell program. In fact, there's 5 programs in there. So, right, basically you got 10 programs with the Giant, 5 single, 5 double. And it works great as either single or double, right? So if you use a single kettlebell using the principles I just showed you, it starts as a level 2 program, right? So if we come over here to the single kettlebell, I pull out my cursor. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe you can. It's single kettlebell. And here we go, right? It's the Giant is a clean and a press. So we got a clean and a military press. So that's a level 2 program. Okay, you got that? All right. And then it progresses to a level 3 program. Why? Because you're doing more and more reps. And so the volume is accumulating. So you're going from low volume to medium volume to high volume, right? So it starts to become a strength endurance and a power endurance. Remember, we train for technique and skill. We train for strength. We train for power. We train for strength endurance. And we train for power endurance. Okay. So it surfs from level 2 to level 3. Yeah, I love how I can't draw an arrow on the screen, but a box is just as good, right? Hopefully you can see that box. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, right? Level 2 to level 3. Now, if you use a pair of kettlebells, now you're at level 4. And then as you accumulate the volume, right, you progress from low to medium to heavy or high in the volume. Then you're going to do more work, right, in a specific period of time of your training program, right, your training workout, whatever you want to call it. And so then it progresses from a strength program to a strength endurance program. So hence it becomes a level 5. So if we come up here to level 5, you see double kettlebell training. You got double kettlebell training, and we see strength endurance training, right? Power endurance, strength endurance. Okay. Hopefully that's making sense to you. Again, as I mentioned, follows the principles. I cannot hammer home these principles enough because most people skip them. And this is why most people don't see the results they want, because they're not following the progression. They're not following a principled progression. Okay. So they're not going from low to medium to high. They're not training strength and power and strength endurance and power endurance. They're just all over the map. They're not going from single kettlebell work to double kettlebell work, which is simple to complex. Okay, so here is my response to Isaac. Let me just lean in here and read it as I put it up on the screen. The Giant is a level 2, 3, 4, and 5 program. That's because it's both a single and double kettlebell program, and it surfs the levels, starting with strength and power and moving to strength endurance and power endurance. Okay, so I think that the Giant's one of the sneaky programs, and it's kind of an incognito program, an incognito level 5 program. So why is that? Well, that's because if you decide to get the Giant, you'll see all this. I've laid this all out for you, right? Giant 1.0 to 1.1 and Giant 1.1 to 1.2 starts becoming endurance, right? So we start moving the reps up. So what happens is the Giant 1.0 is based on your 10 rep max, clean and press. So is the 1.1 and the 1.2. Excuse me for touching my face. They say you never touch your face on camera. I don't know why it's distracting. But you end up using multiple sets of 9 with your old 10 rep max, right? So then obviously your 10 rep max is not your 10 rep max anymore. Okay. So hopefully this is making sense. The key points I want to drill home here for you are at the end of the day, great workouts and great training programs are based on principles. Those principles have built-in progressions, and those progressions have built-in skills, right? How far you want to progress and how well you choose to surf this pyramid, well, that's completely up to you, right? And the good news is there is no wrong answer, okay? Some guys and gals, if there are women watching this, some guys, some men, some women, they're perfectly happy with levels 1, 2, and 3, and that's all they ever want to do is the single kettlebell work, and that's fantastic. Now, others, they want to go to level 5. Whatever you want to do is awesome as long as you can do it, and your body will allow you to do it. So hopefully this makes sense. If you're interested in surfing, experiencing some surfing here in this pyramid, I'll leave links to the giant and even king size killer below this video so you can check them out, right? So you know what I'm talking about. All right, hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.